Today we have Daniel Marks. I'm very excited to hear from him. Attended his talk, one of his topics last week. Daniel works with the Bucks. I'll let him introduce a little bit more about what he does as well. He has a really cool company, which he will be explaining today. He went to Vandy. So Daniel has quite the experience in sports and other things. And I'm excited to have him talk for us today at Clutch Sports. So Daniel, I will leave the floor to you.
All right. Thanks for having me, Avi. Good to be here. So like you said, work for the Bucks. I just finished my 7th season with the team. So this will be year 8. Had a number of different positions. Currently the manager of prospect information, do a lot of draft scouting, helping prepare a general manager when he's on the road with scouting assignments, do regional stuff in the New York, New Jersey area, and then help with our G League team. I was the director of operations for our G League team for 2 years in Oshkosh. Glad that I no longer have to live there, but still involved in helping put the team together and some different logistical stuff with them, which has been cool, but it's been a fun ride. I started out, we won 15 games my first year, and then the past 2 years we finished with the best record in the regular season. So it's been cool to be a part of that transformation. Went to Vanderbilt undergraduate, was a manager for the basketball team for 4 years. We won the SEC championship my junior season in 2012, which was a really cool experience to be part of. And then founded this past year Scouting and Scavenging, which is a charitable initiative encouraging people working in sports or any business where they travel to collect unused hotel toiletries for donation to those in need. We were able to donate 2,100 toiletry kits in Newark, New Jersey, which is about a half hour from where I'm from, during the height of COVID. So I got to do that. We had coaches from Rutgers, Fairleigh Dickinson, Princeton, a couple of other places come out. We started an ambassador program. I'll put the link in the chat. Kate, I know you've signed up. So we do like weekly or monthly newsletters, and we have different webinars. We're going to do one next week, actually, with Jeff Pearlman, former Sports Illustrated writer who just wrote a book about the Kobe Bryant, Phil Jackson, Shaq era Lakers. So he'll be talking about that. We're going to release that tomorrow. Michael Wilbon from ESPN might be on that panel as well, hoping. His assistant called last night after like 4 days of not reaching out. So I'm hoping that means it's a good thing. She was supposed to get back to me during the day today, and she hasn't, though. So hold my breath. But yeah, we'll send all that out. So if you guys want to just take a second to sign that pledge and we'd be a part of it. You get access to all that stuff, and then trying to build out some merchandise. We're in the process of getting toiletry kits and t-shirts with our brand on it. So that's the next step, but it's been a cool way to give back. And, you guys work in sports, and sometimes you can get like caught up in work, trying to advance, trying to learn, read, watch film, break down data, whatever the case may be. And then it's like, you don't really give back or help others. So this is just a really simple way. I can't take credit for the idea. I saw it from someone who used to write for the Yankees like 5 years ago on Twitter, but I can't find the tweet or who did it. So I thought it was Ian O'Connor from ESPN. And I reached out to Ian and said, like, thanks for like suggesting this. I've started this organization. He's like, yeah, I've never done this. It's a great idea, but that was sort of a dead end. So that's kind of a little bit about me, about what I do, both with the Bucks and with Scouting and Scavenging.
Yeah, very cool, Daniel. We would love to hear more about how, what ways we can help directly, what are your, like, I guess for me, it would be the near term and then the future terms as well. Like, what can we do to help you in the near terms? And then what are your goals, I guess, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? So what does Scouting and Scavenging look like?
Yeah, so for right now, so we're in the process of, I've sent email, I've been able to build up a good network in basketball. I mean, a lot of people collect toiletries we started in January and ended in March because people got off the road for COVID. So with college basketball starting up this season, I've reached out to every men's and women's Division I head coach about participating. We have about 25 or so that have said they want to collect. We're planning on releasing a video featuring those coaches announcing their commitment to the pledge. And we have Ian Eagle doing a voiceover for part of the video, and we'll share some photos and stuff for that, which will be really cool, releasing on the 23rd of November. So 2 days before the college season starts. So when that happens, we're going to make a big social media push about it. I mean, right now, having people sign the pledge, and once you sign, you'll just get an email to confirm the subscription, and just click yes in that, and then you're all set. So we're trying to build that out for 2 reasons, because we want this to be an engaging and a grassroots thing. So the more people that sign the pledge and are on our newsletter and kind of keeping up with the cause, and then we do. Also, from a sponsorship standpoint, we're hoping to get those t-shirts and toiletry kits sponsored, and we're in talks with one company I'm waiting to hear back from. But the more people that participate and are involved, the better chances we have of securing partnerships. So that's kind of the short term. The long term, I mean, ideally I would love, like, NFL teams, NBA teams. We did it with the Bucks G League team, the Wisconsin Herd, this year. But we would love to just, anybody traveling in business, it's an interesting thing, because a lot of hotels are shifting away from these single-use toiletry supplies because of the plastic waste. But now, because of COVID, and people don't want to use soap and shampoo containers on the wall because other people have used them, like some hotels have stopped that. So, what we want to do, I mean, the biggest thing is people, whether it's at your company or in your community that that travel a lot, like Avi. Where do you live, Avi?
I'm in Houston.
In Houston, okay. So like, I have a friend in Houston who's an agent down there, and like he collects when he's on the road. And so it's like, if you have some buddies who travel and say like, hey guys, I'm gonna have a box at my apartment, and after road trips, we'll combine our supplies and then we'll donate somewhere locally in Houston. We want it to be. This year we had everything sent to me in New Jersey because of the pandemic, and it hit really hard here. And we kind of wanted to make that our launch event. But moving forward, it's like, you're in Houston, I'm in New Jersey. We have people in Milwaukee, we have people in Toledo, Ohio, and San Diego and Santa Barbara, and their teams and organizations are participating, and then they can give back within their own communities, so that we're impacting 25, 30 different communities with these supplies that would otherwise get thrown out.
Very cool. Are you able to speak a little bit with connecting the two here, Daniel, connecting how I like the conversation. I'm going to lead it on a little bit. I like the conversation with conservation in sports and social responsibility, things like that we had last week too. But how does bringing a bottle of shampoo to you affect the larger picture of sports, affect the larger picture of the world? How does sports kind of play a factor in this? How do the Bucks kind of play a factor in this as well? If you could kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, so it's really, I mean, I travel a lot for work. So if I was working in business and was a consultant traveling 120 days a year, like, it started with sports because that's where I work, that's where I live, that's where I have my connections. But it's really anyone that's traveling. I mean, I think you kind of take for granted these supplies, right? Like, you go to a hotel, you've got the bar of soap, the shampoo, the lotion, the conditioner. You might be there for one night, use one squirt of shampoo, and then because you've opened it, they'll throw it out. So what I started doing was I'd travel with, one bottle of shampoo, and once I was done with it, then I recycle it and collect those other bottles that were, because they just don't know most of the time whether you've opened it or not. Like, it's hard for them to tell unless there's a seal, or like the soap is in the paper wrappers or whatever the case may be. So a lot of it just gets thrown out incidentally. There was a story in the New York Times of a hotel in Los Angeles that estimated they had like 380 pounds of liquid waste from those bottles that just get thrown out every month. So eliminating that, the plastic waste, but also the supply waste, because unfortunately there are people that don't have access to hygiene supplies. And when you're working or trying to find a job or trying to find a house and you can't present yourself in a hygienic way and be clean, like, people, that means a lot, like for people. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, and the scene where
Absolutely.
he's like, shows up and he's got he grooms himself for these big meetings with the company, even though he's homeless. And that can be for people that haven't had a shower or don't have access to hand sanitizer, and especially with COVID going on, it's just a really easy way to give back, because we have access, luckily, to these supplies, and we can afford to buy a container of soap. But for a lot of people out there, whether it's at homeless shelters, women's shelters, veterans, there's just a lot of people that don't. So really, things that are going to get thrown out anyway, that it's really easy to put in your bag because they're so small. It's not like you have to pack an extra bag to haul these things around on a trip, and just put them to good use for people that really need them.
Which toiletries do you usually grab while you're there?
So I usually grab the soap, the lotion, the shampoo, and the conditioner. I travel with like a branded shampoo just in my toiletry. And then the body wash, sometimes I'll use theirs, sometimes not, but kind of whatever I don't use, or if it's just like I took one squirt of body wash and like I know it hasn't been contaminated, like I'll put that in the bag too.
Do you
Some
grab like
people
toilet
actually.
paper or the like coffee or things like that, or what do you?
So we haven't. So that was not part of like the initial thing, but we had a guy by the name of Ahil who worked for George Washington men's basketball, and he started collecting toilet paper from his rooms, and we post like on our social media whenever someone gets back from a trip. So Kate, if you want to like message us on Instagram or Twitter, we can post like, hey, Kate, we posted, scavenging submission from Kate Chura. And then we do like a scavenger of the month, like who sent in the most submissions or who was the most creative. And we've been doing like ambassador profiles every day as a way to engage people on social media to get them to share it on their stories or on their Twitters. And we're up to almost 700 Instagram followers and 630 on Twitter. So getting there. J.R. Smith actually followed us yesterday, which was pretty cool, because him and I were at a Get Out. We're at a Get Out the Vote event together. So he followed us and liked our photo from yesterday. So that was big. So hoping he can maybe tweet about our IG to his 5 million Instagram followers about it.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, Andrew's favorite basketball player, actually.
Okay. Yeah, but he was a nice guy.
Not my favorite basketball player, but still pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
so,
cool,
but
Daniel.
Go ahead.
No, I just keep going.
Yeah, no. So it's really anything you don't use. Like if it's, we've had people like the Q-tips, the cotton ball swabs. Someone brought slippers that they gave, like they're like stayed at one of those hotels in Vegas where you're like equipped with all these things, and they didn't wear the slippers, so sent us the slippers. We've had what's the not snake oil, but the oil for your body, not baby oil, but peanut oil. Someone had like
that's an interesting hotel.
Yeah. And we've had people like posted on Instagram like, hey, I'm moving, I have like these supplies, and like we were connected to someone in New Jersey that did that. And then a couple of people have hit me up from the NBA who collected and were like, oh, I'm moving, where do I send them, or where can I donate them? So it's just a really simple, easy way to get involved and do good, because it doesn't take a lot of time planning or effort. But at the end of the year, you can have like a pretty sizable supply and, give, a couple hundred bottles of supply, which might not seem like much, but for people that don't have them, that's huge.
Absolutely. No, Dan, I think this is a great initiative, and Kate and I really enjoyed the talk from last week as well as what I wanted to bring up. I think it was what people are doing in sports to, for social responsibility and the bigger picture of the world. And I think a lot of the initiatives that we see in sports right now, that was kind of the thing that really stuck out with me. And I think it's awesome that we're addressing race, we're addressing political issues, things like that. But, things as basic as like helping the community by donating supplies or helping the environment by saving all this plastic, these are all really good initiatives that I feel like can be, these are small things that we can do that can affect a larger picture at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't have to be, people think like, oh, need to have this big idea to make a difference, but you can do something small. And this was initially just me and some buddies collecting, and it's continued to grow. And we've got people all around the country now collecting, which has been really cool to see.
Awesome. Yeah, man, we'll definitely help you grow on our side as well. And I will at least sign I know you sent the link. I'll go ahead and sign the pledge here after this meeting as well. Did any of you want to chime in? Payson, Andrew, did you guys have any questions?
Yeah, like how does the like community partnership program kind of work? Like when these are donated, is like a community in mind they're going to, or is like, do you guys already have specific designations where these donations go, or how is that kind of determined?
So yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of the college programs that we're partnering with have organizations that they work with in their local communities, whether it's a food kitchen, a homeless shelter, veterans group, whatever it may be, that they are going to donate to, that they're already partnered with. So it's just a way to expand and strengthen the partnerships that they have. For us initially in Newark, so my grandparents are from there. I interned in City Hall for Cory Booker when he was the mayor there in 2012, and had a cool experience doing that, but realized I wanted to work in sports, not politics after that. So I kind of tried to reach out to a couple different people, didn't really get anywhere. Had talked to this woman, Emily, who I interned with in City Hall and now runs a tourism company in Newark. She put me in touch with a community activist there who put me in touch with someone from the mayor's office. And we were able to partner with their food relief program that puts together meals for families who have children in the school lunch program that aren't able to get those lunches because school is not in session. It's remote until January. So every week they do a food supply distribution at the city rec center. And we've been, we donated the toiletries one of those days. And then I go back each week to volunteer and just help out with the food packaging. But that's how we kind of came to those partners in Newark. But with other people, we have people who just, donate already to a cause. And it's like, it's not about for us, like, oh, you have to donate here, there, like, because there's so many places that need these supplies. Whatever you feel comfortable with or most connected to is where we want people to donate.
Are there certain types of orgs that are more likely to want to receive these? Is there certain things that, like, if we were to try to find a local branch of whatnot, that we should be looking for?
Like homeless shelters for sure. They're always looking for these supplies. Domestic violence shelters, boys and girls clubs even, because if they have kids whose families, don't have access to those supplies, people have donated them there as well. But I would say shelters are kind of the most common place where these supplies are donated and where the need is the highest.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I don't have any further questions unless you guys want to chime in. Daniel, happy to hear anything else that you'd like to add. Love this initiative a lot, and I'm glad you're able to share with us.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. And if you sign the pledge, and get involved, and we're gonna try to get merchandise to all the people that have signed and joined our ambassador program. And it's kind of a grassroots thing. We're potentially going to become a 501c3. We're just kind of with the paperwork and stuff. It's some stuff to work through on that end, but just continuing to grow it and just people being involved and being engaged and sending in pictures of what they collect and where they travel. Like it's something people can have a lot of fun with. Like we have competitions for, like I said, Scavenger of the Month and different rewards, and just a really easy way to get involved. And we've had people like through this like get connected, and we actually had a hill. One of my friends who's an agent was looking for an assistant, and like a hill through this, I recommended him to my agent friend, and he had a great interview, and now he was hired. So it has been a cool way to
stores.
connect different people in the industry.
Absolutely. How are you looking on the Bucks this year? Are you looking bullish, bearish? How are you looking?
Good. I mean, Giannis is obviously the big question when he really signed the extension. I wish I had more inside knowledge than I do, but we should be really competitive. Obviously this year we fell short, but hoping to rectify that this coming season.
Excellent. Awesome, man. Well, our group is here to help in any way that we can. Happy to connect you with people, or if you need help with anything, we're just a
and
Slack
I'll just
message
shoot everyone
away,
my phone number if you guys want to text me.
Cool. Yeah.
And then Andrew, once you sign the pledge, and Payson and Avi, if you sign as well, you'll just get that email to subscribe, and then that Kate was able to do it without me noting that she needed to click on the email. So, but women are smarter than men. So
Facts.
Okay, I made it through the gauntlet. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it confirmed, so I'm all set. But,
my grandma was not able to figure out the confirmation subscription, and she sent me a lengthy email saying I've subscribed. Why am I not getting the newsletter? I said, well, did you verify? And she said, yes, I've done everything. And I said, well, you must not have, because you're not on the list.
That's so funny.
But she didn't like that answer.
I did tell someone from my company, like we have a community service lead. And so I'm talking with him a little bit about it too, just because obviously with consulting, we do travel a lot. And so we're always looking for some community outreach. So fortunately, he's my direct manager too. So I've got a pretty good relationship and convincing him more.
Oh, that's great. And then I'll put it in, Avi put it in the chat.
Yeah, so that it'll be there for.
There was an article in a local newspaper kind of about the genesis of the initiative and how we started and where we're going. So the author did a really good job of explaining everything. So if people are interested in more information, that's a good link to share with them.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, Daniel.
Yeah, thanks
awesome.
a lot.
Thanks guys for having me, and look forward to attending one of these as a guest in the future.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you. Yes.
All right.
Y'all
have a good one, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Al.